blind item circulating that Ariana Grande is dating Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is married to Sam Taylor Johnson. A lot of people who are kind of supportive of that relationship.
This man blew up his entire marriage, his family, left his wife and baby for Ariana Grande for a temporary relationship, all knowing her history and the way that she operates is absolutely crazy.
Now listen to this, because Ariana Grande might have just spun the whole block again. Yes, again. Fresh out of that wild Ethan Slater situation, the married co-star, the chaos, the baby mama drama. The streets are buzzing that Ariana already slid into another married man's life, and this time the name floating around is Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yup, that Aaron from Kick-Ass and Bullet Train. Ariana and Aaron, their names alone sound like something a PR squad would push. And honestly, they do look like they'd match in one of those glossy movie posters. They both have that big screen aura, and that's exactly why this rumor is hitting so hard. Because come on, we literally just watched this same pattern with Ethan. Ariana leaves her husband, vibes with a married co-star, the internet explodes. And suddenly we're running it back again with a fresh cast member. And here we are once more. Deja vu in full HD. What's wild is how split folks are about this. Some swear the whole thing is just exaggerated talk, while others are convinced she's repeating the same play and dressing it up like some deep, dramatic love story. But no matter which side you're on, the timing is way too convenient to pretend it doesn't make you raise an eyebrow. So let's get into it, because before we talk about this new rumor, we gotta rewind. That last situation? Yeah, that one is still a whole mess. Everybody remembers how explosive that thing with Ethan Slater got.
Blind item reads, every Reddit user who loves this married three-named actor might actually get their wish. Word is he grabbed lunch last week with the A-list singer and actress. And again, this is allegedly Ariana Grande going out on a date with Aaron Taylor Johnson and people wishing that he would leave his wife.
Ariana had just ended things with Dalton Gomez, her super low-key real estate husband. And the next thing anybody knew, she was getting extra close to her wicked co-star. And honestly, the whole thing wouldn't have blown up the way it did if Ethan wasn't already married. This man had a whole wife, Lily J., his high school sweetheart, the woman he'd been with for a whole decade, and they had just welcomed a baby. Then out of nowhere, he's plastered across every headline for allegedly stepping out on his family to be with Ariana. And what made it sting even more? Ariana actually knew Lily. Like she was smiling in that woman's face and acting friendly. That's why people started calling it her villain era, and they were not holding back with that label at all. Meanwhile, Ethan, poor guy, really thought he was running off into some fairy tale. He left his wife, his newborn, and his whole stable life for someone who, let's be real, doesn't exactly stay locked into one storyline for long. So of course it wasn't shocking when that whole situation fizzled out. Word online started spreading that things between them got messy behind the scenes, the engagement was allegedly off, and Ariana was already shifting her attention somewhere else. Which brings us right up to this moment, because the way she moves on could honestly qualify for its own world record. That's exactly when everything online started spiraling again. Out of nowhere, a blind item drops saying a married three-name actor was spotted having lunch with a famous singer/actress. And before anyone could even finish reading it, folks were already connecting the dots and shouting that it had to be Ariana Grande and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Then one person posts a picture that they claimed showed them together, and that was all it took. Social media hit full-blown chaos mode instantly. People were breaking down outfits, backgrounds, reflections, even hand gestures like they were detectives on a mission. And the reactions were all over the place. Some folks were straight up shocked, others were weirdly hyping her up, and the rest were busy turning the whole thing into memes like it was comedy hour. It felt like watching the entire internet argue with itself in real time, and nobody was backing down.
There you have this middle page
But the timing made everything hit way harder, because these rumors popped up immediately after word spread that Ariana and Ethan had officially ended things. So of course, people started connecting dots that probably aren't even real. But online, that's all it takes for a full investigation to break out. By the end of the day, folks were acting like they were already planning out the wedding aesthetic. Now here's where it gets complicated, because Aaron's situation has never been simple. He's been married to Sam Taylor Johnson since 2012, And people have questioned that relationship for years, not because of anything recent, but because of how the whole thing began. Aaron was only 18, just getting his acting career off the ground, and the story is they met when he auditioned for her movie, Nowhere Boy. So yeah, naturally people have questions about that timeline. And it's not just the age gap, it's the power dynamic too. She was the director, the one in charge, and he was a teenage actor just trying to get his foot in the door. Some people labeled it as grooming, while others claimed it was just an unusual love story that somehow worked out. Either way, they got engaged a year later, married in 2012, and now share 2 daughters together. But that whole debate never really disappeared. Every time Aaron's name trends, the same convo pops right back up like it's on a timer. He's even tried to defend it, saying people act strange about their relationship and that he just grew up faster, while Sam keeps insisting the age gap doesn't matter. But the pattern is tough to ignore, because let's be real. She literally directed 50 Shades of Grey a few years later, a film built around power, control, and dominance, all while being in a relationship that had everybody side-eyeing those exact same themes. The irony practically screams at you. There's even that interview moment where someone asked, "This is so different to what you've done before. What attracted you to the project?" And people were reading way into it. And honestly, you can't blame them because even their last name situation, both of them merging into Taylor Johnson, low-key felt symbolic. Like Aaron got absorbed into her world before he even had the space to build his own identity. And here's where it gets even more suspicious. Right after those James Bond rumors started floating around about Aaron being the next 007, Sam suddenly went ghost online. No posts, no likes, nothing. It almost looked like she knew the spotlight was shifting, and not exactly in a direction she could control. So when these new Ariana rumors exploded, the internet instantly tried to flip it into some kind of rescue story. Like Ariana was swooping in to save him, as if she's running a rehab center for complicated marriages or something. Let's be serious. This whole narrative got dramatic real fast. You can't save somebody from their own controversy by becoming the next chapter in it. And the wild part? Aaron just posted the sweetest birthday tribute to his wife. Hearts everywhere. Cute selfies, the whole "I love spending every moment with you" vibe. So either the internet is seriously stretching this rumor again, or this man is living a double life straight out of a Netflix plot twist. Now here's where things really start getting strange. Because Ariana has been called a homewrecker before, more than once. But this time, people are kinda cheering her on. Instead of dragging her for allegedly getting involved with another married man, folks online are dropping comments like, "Save him, Ariana," or treating her like she's out here doing some community service mission. That's the part throwing everybody off, because suddenly people are choosing sides based on who they dislike more, rather than what's actually right or wrong. Half the internet can't stand Sam Taylor Johnson because of that 23-year age gap, while the other half refuses to believe Ariana could be wrapped up in the same kind of mess again. One person even said, "Why are people getting comfortable with adultery?" Like, yes, the man is married, and no, nobody should be cheering for him to step out on his wife. And honestly, that's a real point right there. Then you've got the crowd that doesn't even care about morals anymore and is just here for the drama. Someone literally commented, "One thing about Ariana, she loves her some married men, except when they're married to her." And the internet treated it like it was a punchline. This whole situation is getting louder by the minute. Like, not that much truth packed into one sentence, please. And the next comment had me cracking up because they weren't lying. Words really do carry weight. She literally has a whole track called "Break Up With Your Girlfriend," and apparently she's been treating it like a lifestyle guide. So yeah, the internet is completely split right now. Some people are acting like she's swooping in to save Aaron from his unusual marriage dynamics, while others are calling it exactly what it looks like. The same messy deja vu all over again. And honestly, at this point, it's not even about the situation itself. It's about who folks like more. You can call it coincidence if you want, but the pattern keeps landing the same way every single time. Big Sean, Mac Miller, Pete Davidson, every time her public image starts getting shaky, a new romance storyline magically pops up out of nowhere like clockwork. And look, I love Ariana, I really do. She's insanely talented. She's been through her share of real-life battles, and she's one of the rare pop stars who can bounce back from literally anything. But at some point, we gotta stop pretending every questionable move is just misunderstood or misinterpreted. Because if this whole thing with Erin is even halfway true, we're basically watching the same movie replay itself, just with a fresh cast member stepping into the role. People online are acting like this whole situation is some kind of reality show crossover event. And the wild part is how fast everybody switched roles when Ariana's name popped up again. One second, folks were dragging her for the Ethan situation, and the next, they're treating her like she's some kind of romantic fixer ready to pull Erin out of a complicated marriage. The flip-flopping is insane. And let's be real, the only reason this is even blowing up like this is because Ariana's love life has basically become its own genre of entertainment. Every time she even breathes near someone with a ring on their finger, the internet sets itself on fire and starts doing Olympic-level mental gymnastics trying to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. People love the drama way too much. At the same time, folks are acting like Erin is this lost soul wandering around Hollywood looking for someone to free him. And that's just not how life works. You can't turn a rumor into a rescue mission just because you don't like how someone's marriage started. Not every uncomfortable relationship dynamic needs a celebrity stepping in to save anybody. But the internet loves turning everything into a storyline. Then you've got the people who don't care about the truth at all. They're just here to watch chaos happen like it's a sport. Every new rumor becomes a fresh excuse to throw shade, make jokes, and pretend they're detectives with insider information that they definitely don't have. It's all noise, but it spreads fast because everyone wants the most dramatic angle possible. What makes this even wilder is that nobody's actually talking about Erin himself. He's out here posting sweet messages about his family, acting like life is peaceful and calm, while the internet is busy creating whole plots behind his back. It's almost like two totally different realities are happening at once, and neither one matches the truth.
So different to what you've done before. What attracted you to the project?
Mainly just what I saw when I read it, and I thought, just that sense that cinematically I hadn't seen anything like this. And, there are a few movies you can equate it to similarities, but I don't know, I just saw the potential to be really creative.
Meanwhile, Ariana's name stays trending whether she likes it or not, and the second a new rumor drops, she gets dragged into another round of online debates. Some people think she's just unlucky, others think she's reckless, and the rest are convinced she's secretly living the life of a romantic rebel who jumps from one headline to the next. No matter what, she keeps people talking. And honestly, until someone involved actually speaks up, the internet is just going to keep running wild with their own theories. That's the thing about celebrity drama. Silence doesn't stop anything. It just gives people room to make up their own stories. And once those stories get loud enough, they start sounding real even when they're not. This whole situation is proof of that. She already had her whole thank you next moment with Ethan. That was supposed to be the lesson, the closure, the moment she stepped out of all that chaos for good. But now it's starting to feel like a rerun with a slightly different cast, and the internet is definitely picking up on it. And yeah, Erin's marriage has its complicated layers, but complicated doesn't automatically mean available. Somebody is always going to end up hurt in situations like this. At some point, she really needs to leave that heartbreak loop behind for real, because she's way too influential to keep ending up as the main character in every grown man's midlife spiral. It gets exhausting watching the same pattern hit replay every few years like it's part of her brand or something. She deserves peace, not another headline storm. So did Ariana actually get mixed up with Aaron Taylor-Johnson? Right now, there's zero solid proof. Just blind items, whispers, and that one picture everybody zoomed in on like it was the Zapruder film. Folks were analyzing shadows and pixels like they were working a crime lab, which shows you how desperate people are to confirm a narrative. But here's the thing. When it comes to Ariana, these kinds of rumors don't just materialize out of thin air. They always come from somewhere, even if that somewhere is messy online speculation. And if the rumors do turn out to be true, her team better clock in and put overtime hours on the board because people are not approaching this situation with patience this time. Last time, the reaction was shock. Nobody expected her to be linked to a married co-star like that. But this time, it's straight up frustration. Folks are tired and they're saying it out loud with their whole chest. And that's why the internet can't decide whether they should treat her like she's saving Erin or like she's setting off another emotional hurricane. Either way, this story is nowhere near done, and knowing Ariana's history with headlines, that next update is probably already loading as we speak.